Let's also welcome Dhananjay Sinha, co-head of institutional research at Emkay Global Financial Services. Dhananjay, morning. Thanks for taking the time out today. What's the outlook as far as the markets are concerned? Because clearly the build-up to this entire mega event, the election, has been extremely strong. We've seen this huge run-up coming in. Markets in trade yesterday again creating all-time high levels. What's your strategy? What's your expectation as far as elections are concerned out here? And how are you advising clients to be positioned in this market?
See, the way I look at it is that, this is something that was anticipated, and the election-related exuberance has translated into some amount of portfolios reshuffle if we look at the way market is actually behaving. So basically, people have got into sectors such as construction, real estate, capital goods, and banking sector, and moved out of IT, the pharma space and auto ancillary space, which are actually doing well. So I think this kind of switch was clearly anticipated. See, essentially the market is trying to build up a Modi trade, basically assuming that Mr. Modi will be the next Prime Minister, and there will be a more investment-led or growth-oriented policies that will come about.
TCS itself down close to 4% today. So your view on IT and TCS in particular?
See, I think the guidance that has come from Infosys and TCS, I think, has created some amount of concern. We have been overweight the IT pack. See, I think this particular quarter, it is likely that there might be some amount of softening as far as the top line growth is concerned. But I think what is important to look at is that over the next 12 months or the following quarters, I think the TCS is not really telling us that there is a considerable amount of concern on the sustainability of top line growth. So as long as that is there, I'm fine with it. I think they have a fairly decent margin, and they have a fairly strong growth as far as the top line and profits are concerned. So I think these are short-term concerns. I think these are opportunities. If there are deep corrections, happening ahead of the elections, and that actually is also corroborating what the market is actually doing as of now, which is basically moving out of some of the sectors which are showing reasonably strong visibility into sectors which are high beta, where visibility in earnings etc. are not there. I think these are opportunities to actually buy in.
What should be the portfolio standard, Dhananjay? Because I was looking at a recent report that you just come out with, where you highlighted a couple of the investment themes that one should be looking at. What's it looking like as we build up to that election event? How are you advising clients to actually be positioned in this market?
See, I think it's a tricky thing. See, one has to respect that there is a market sentiment and there is a market psychology, and that clearly is in favor of the high beta names. So the way we have really put out our themes is that we have a mix of good quality high beta names, let's say in the banking sector, but at the core of our portfolio is still inclined towards the export theme. So basically we have been overweight on the IT sector, we have been overweight on pharma, we have been overweight on some of the auto names which have high external components as far as business is concerned. So we have TCS, Wipro, we have Tech Mahindra and NIT, basically in the mid and small cap IT names, and so we have a whole host of pharma names as well. You had Dr. Reddy, Divi's, and Ipca in the pharma space. And within the auto space, we are playing partly domestic and partly global. So we have Tata Motors as part of our topic. I know there is a certain amount of correction that has been happening, but I think beyond a point, after some more correction, it will still become an attractive buy. We have Motherson Sumi. We like Amara Raja, and in the domestic play, we like Hero Motors, because I think there is a certain amount of improvement as far as the volume growth is concerned, and I think this Excite cut that has been announced with the general in the interim budget, sorry, I think should actually help show better volume growth for Hero Motors. So we like Hero Motors as well. Apart from that, we like within the consumer space, we know that there is a decline in volumes across FMCG space, but over here in the consumer name, we like companies who will be able to demonstrate pricing power over a period of time. So within that, we like Asian Paint, we like Colgate. Eicher Motor has a dominant play in the premium two-wheeler segment, so that has been something that we like. We also liked ITC and GSK Consumer. So ITC is not something that we cover, but I think it should be a good bet in the current context.
Dhananjay,
Within the banking space, we think that if you look at the market behavior, sorry.
right, exactly. I was just going to ask you on the banks as well, that within the banking space, I mean, if it's private banks you're looking at, any specific stocks there that you're bullish on?
Yeah, so we have been liking ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank, and we said that within the PSU pack we will look at Bank of Baroda, which is a strongly capitalized PSU bank. So we consider that to be an outperformer over a longer period of time, and it has actually done well. Within the banking space, I think there has been a significant run-up. This whole euphoria that is playing out ahead of the election is actually playing out on some of the stocks that we have actually highlighted. So, beyond the election, if there is a correction, these names will also see a certain amount of correction. But I think, we are actually playing this out over a longer period of time, where we believe that private sector banks will have increasing market share as far as banking business is concerned. So HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank are structural buy for us, notwithstanding the corrections and volatility that we may see. Within the PSU banks, as I said, we are looking at recapitalization is a big theme, and we believe that it is unlikely that the support from government from a recapitalization standpoint will be adequate in the foreseeable future. Hence, Bank of Baroda stands out within them. So that is what we like. We also like LIC Housing Finance because it has a much more appropriate ALM position, and and they have lesser default risk. There is a retail element over there, and we also have this whole cluster of value buys. I can talk about that. So we've liked Grasim, Ramco Cement, TNPL, Coromandel, Greaves Cotton, Voltas, DB Corp, and DCM Shriram.
Dhananjay, the other interesting bit that we were actually been talking about, and we were discussing this earlier in the day as well, is this entire PSU theme. And I know it comes into focus on the back of that entire the CPSE ETF that's just being launched as well, and subscription opens there. But predominantly, Dhananjay, these have been some of the underperformers that we've actually seen. Any thoughts on the fact that the ETF market on the whole also has been more or less somewhat of a dead market when we talk about the domestic context? So any theme that, any thoughts on this entire development regarding the CPSE ETF?
No, I think, see, we are somewhat wary about the PSU stocks, primarily because you have the government, which is actually very pivotal in this whole PSU pack, and what I am kind of concerned about is this whole stress that the PSU banking space is going through, where the recapitalization requirement is fairly high. According to us, it's around 2 lakh crores, and some estimates is higher. So we believe that recapitalization of banking sector will come by various ways, and the government might actually want to do aggressive selling of PSU holding that it has. So the supply over there could increase. Secondly, what we have also noticed in the budget is that the government has actually been getting money from the PSU space through special dividends and other things. that the balance sheet is actually something that will be compromised for the
Sure.
PSU company. So my sense is that
Okay.
both from a supply standpoint and some of these operating standpoint, that there are vulnerabilities out here, notwithstanding the quality of the PSU companies.
Right.
Sure.
So I think that will continue as long as the fiscal stress
Right.
that the government is facing continues, and I think it will be quite some time.